will come to order at 4 o'clock on August 17th, 2026. We're going to begin as usual with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation. So if you would, join me as we say the allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Jeremy, would you please lead us in an invocation?
Father, we just thank you for today. Thank you for just blessing us with safe travels to get here and continuing to keep all students safe. Just pray that we would just remain humble as we just ultimately seek you for guidance and the direction that you would have the school continue to go. And just give you the glory. In Jesus' name. Amen.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. So this time, because we have an open seat with our treasurer secretary, I'm going to ask our vice chair actually, I skipped over. At this time, I'm going to ask Sam to read our mission statement.
Okay, the ALA mission statement is as follows: in support of the family to provide the best educational experience to as many students as possible in a moral and wholesome environment.
All right, thank you. It's a good reminder as we continue to talk about the business of ALA South Carolina. So next, I'm going to ask our Vice Chair Patsy to take roll.
Okay, Amy Du Bois,
Present.
Jeremy Kelly,
Present.
Jennifer Boland,
Present.
Melissa Peterson,
Present.
Cassie Walls, present, and who else do we? Alex Knoll.
I spoke to somebody in your office here on America.
Present.
Okay. Is that everybody? Did we get everybody? Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So with that, we have a quorum. So we can continue with our meeting. Next is the approval of our agenda. The agenda has been distributed. Are there any corrections or additions to the agenda?
Not so.
Okay. Hearing none, the agenda will be approved as presented. Next is the approval of the June board meeting minutes. Have you guys had a chance to review the meeting minutes? Are there any amendments? Okay. Hearing none, we'll approve these by common consent. Next is our public comment. We don't have any present with us today, and I don't think any were submitted online ahead of time. So just in the future, if you are joining us online and you want to submit comments for public comment, you can do that through the website. Otherwise, you're welcome to join us in person. So moving on, we're going to do our reports. First up is Adam.
Kind of short and sweet because we are on day 11 and day 9 for both of our campuses. It's been a fast and furious start. So just first and foremost, I want to kind of address that would be, like I said, we do have two different start days for our campuses. We had a slight delay with Blythewood. Really grateful. The parent community was super gracious. Not a whole lot of pushback, very understanding. Grateful for all of the community partnerships, for Jim, for Erskine, helping to move the opening forward, and we were able to get the CO secured and opened on August 5th for Blythewood. So all in all, like I said, a fast and furious start. We just want to let the board know that because Blythewood experienced a delay, there is going to be a little bit of a shift in the calendar, and so we'll be submitting that to the board for review. Just we need to adjust a couple of days. So, to go over enrollment, so we did do our day 5 ADM for count for both Lexington and Blythewood. The numbers that you see right now are actually their present counts for the campus. So this is after when we receive the application and the interest in enrollment. That only counts so far. Once we get to the start of school, if we do not have students in seats, we are rapid fire trying to get in touch with the families to find out if the family does intend to come. And so the first couple of weeks, we see a lot of roller coaster up and down in our enrollment counts. We take note of the students who are there in attendance, and then any students that are not there, we are making phone calls to try to get an understanding of where the students are. A lot of times, they're still on vacation, they're wrapping those things up, and so they do end up coming a little bit later. But it's really after those first 10 days that we can safely assume that if we have not had contact and they have not shown up, then they are likely not coming in. So then we are able to go through and kind of clean out our data and make sure that the enrollment that we have is pretty close to our accurate, the number of students that are actually going to show up. So with Lexington, 1678 in grades K through 12, and Blythewood, 1443 is our count. So we talked in May about the attrition that we expected, and we landed pretty close to where we thought. However, with Lexington, we're taking a really close look because they've had just 3 years of a lot of variables that have impacted enrollment. When we first opened, we had close to 2,000 students. By the end of that first year, we had seen it recede to around 1,550. And that's pretty normal for a first year of operation where we are setting the standard high, and that was the very first ALA in South Carolina. The next year, we've kind of done a deep dive into the data. The next year, we had higher enrollment, around 1,800, and we saw it recede as well. We had a couple of leadership transitions. So what we're seeing now is enrollment has steadied. It ended around just a little less than this, so we have grown, not a ton. So the last couple of weeks, we've taken a little bit of a closer dive into Lexington's to go, okay, where is it that we have opportunity? Our biggest opportunities as we look at the cohorts. So the good news was in every single grade, so like kinder to first, second, those cohorts, every single grade actually grew by a few, with the exception of 5th grade. So 4th going to 5th, we saw a little bit of attrition there, and same thing with 11th to 12th. So we're looking into those 2 grades specifically to figure out what were the withdrawal reasons, why did those students not return, why did we see a dip in that cohort. And then kinder was one that we're getting a new batch of students, but we came in with a much lower, but we came in with lower enrollment in kinder this year than we did in the previous year. And that is something that we're actually seeing across the country. So we're trying to figure out what our approach is going to be to really boost kinder. We're seeing a lot more parents elect to keep children home in that kinder year, or from school before they introduce them to the elementary school planning. So just a little bit of information on Lexington. I'll pause there. Questions?
Are we like outside of just like, oh, we're seeing trends elsewhere and like lesser kindergarten enrollments in other places? Like, that's a low number. Are we like being under 100 for going in for kindergarten? Like, that's the only one that actually kind of scares me on that list. Like the higher grades, not as much, because like those will have, but kindergarten's like where the foundation starts. Like, are we nervous there? Is there anything that we're thinking of doing especially for that piece?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we're doing is deploying not just a campus leadership team, but people in Charter One who are focusing on enrollment to go and network and make relationships with daycares and preschools in the area. That's a long-term investment, right? We know that might not see like the enrollment come to fruition this year, but we're investing because that's something that we want those partners to say, hey, a really great school, and refer them to ALA. That's one of the things that we are doing, trying to build those connections and partnerships. It is a lower number than we would like to see. We definitely have the room to grow in kindergarten, so we're not stopping enrollment. If we can continue to get students, and even if we had to open up another section, we would absolutely do that. But like I said, we are seeing that same kind of trend with kindergarten specifically across a lot of our schools. And it is something that we're trying to make sure that people understand the benefits of having their students come in that kindergarten year and assimilate into the school environment at a younger age.
My only other question is just about marketing. When we ask about marketing a lot in here, but just, I mean, I think making relationships with the daycares and stuff is a good move, but I feel like I haven't seen a whole lot of marketing efforts out there, you know, so I do wonder how.
Parent rewarding.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Sure.
Good to you.
So like, what are some of the marketing
Yeah.
efforts that are out there? Yeah. And to be really honest, I can, don't have off the top of my head the list of things that we can absolutely kind of look at the digital advertising efforts, as well as some of the physical assets that we're doing, billboards and things like that. You can get that.
Pretty good. That would be great.
Especially now that like Jim can breathe again because Blythewood is standing. If a marketing or comms plan exists for moving forward with enrollment for both Lexington and Blythewood, I don't know if that's standard of Charter One's marketing and comms team, but if something like that does exist, it might be helpful, especially with some like native eyeballs to have on it, like where we're all local enough.
Yeah. So just for you guys to be aware, we do have a communication and a marketing plan per campus, and it's a collaborative effort between Charter One marketing individuals as well as the campus.
Yeah.
So their input on, you know, what is the local beat is very, very insightful. And then what our marketing team, we have an entire social media team that is sitting there and they are tracking the trends, you know, where we're getting traction, which posts, and they're working back with PR liaisons on campus to say, hey, this post created a lot of traction. You know, what can we do to really promote more things like this so that it can continue to be pushed into the social atmosphere? So I'll happily get an accounting of some of those digital and physical things. And if you guys have thoughts in the area of what you think parents are looking for, please share those thoughts.
I mean, I think it would be helpful, like we have a clear picture of where the gaps are. And it would be super helpful to see like, all right, well, if we use X marketing strategies to target these pieces, and then also seeing if that's effective and impactful. I mean, where we're going trajectory wise with opening up all these campuses in South Carolina, like as we've already figured out, South Carolina is a very different animal than North Carolina and Arizona.
Yeah.
So it would be helpful to see what works.
And you know, along those same lines, we are doing a deep dive as to, okay, where are opportunities, and with Blythewood, the opportunity is really the upper school programming. That's the question that we're getting a lot about the offerings. And so that is an opportunity for us to really target the things that they like. So, and then we're gathering the withdrawal data and reasons, like I said, trying to get a better understanding as to the students who didn't come, you know, on our original projection, why they would go away. And we'll share that as soon as we can. Academics were just the very beginning. We conducted 2 weeks of summer teacher training. That went well. Like we got a couple of extra days. Summer teacher training. Of course, their focus, I think, was all about getting their classrooms ready, which they did in 24 hours or less because we had to meet the teacher night that night.
Jeez Louise.
It was quick.
And they had a month stressful. He's all like.
It was bad.
Typical
What was the cucumber?
Tuesday.
He had to get his feet up in the screen.
Right, there you go, yeah. I feel like that happens.
So as we are getting into the school year, and this is pretty normal, but our academic team is really focusing on working with the assistant directors and instructional coaches in addition to the leaders, but really focusing in on supporting them on the implementation of curriculum in the classroom. That is just every year when we get new teachers, helping them feel really confident in teaching and implementing the curriculum is key, right? The sooner that all of our teachers are comfortable, right? That just improves the instruction. So that's our academic team's focus right now. And we're also just trying to strengthen our transition support for sixth graders, particularly in math and ELA. The content shifts just a little bit, levels up, right? It's a big grade jump from fifth to sixth. And so that's something that we're in conversation about, is just how do we continue to support our students and our teachers of those grade levels in those subjects. That is it for the campus report.
Anybody have any questions for me?
Did I see the Blythewood number? I didn't see the company. Was it 1443? Okay.
All right, well, moving on then. Thank you, Abby. We have our development report from Taylor Brand.
Excited to share that Jim is gonna him as he was here, and he's the one that was excited.
Yeah, so let me start with Blythewood, since this is shiny new penny in the stable. So yeah, as Abby said, August 5th, we received our certificate of occupancy for the building. We have this main school building, the renovation building, and then we have the new gymnasium, which is across the street. The gymnasium building, we still do not have the CO. We're expecting the final inspection on this Thursday. We should get that Thursday to get open. As you can imagine, we put that on hold to focus on getting the school going. Unfortunately, we wanted to deliver both at the same time, but just circumstances led to a split. But yeah, this Thursday we're fully anticipating an inspection and get that done. I do want to give a shout out to the Erskine team that was very instrumental and helpful in us that last week trying to push and get inspections and stuff. They actually walked the final inspection with me and OSF, which was very helpful. So we appreciate that. The only other thing I'll just say is you know, we're here, we're on the campus, we're not leaving. We've got the contractors still on site. We're working after hours, you know, before school, after school. We're watching security protocols, things like that. You know, there's punch list items to do. You know,
I wasn't gonna point
yeah,
it
the people
out,
that put
but
that up, they put it in the wrong
I
spot,
wasn't.
they filled it off, and they took the drywall with it. So, you know, things like that will be addressed as we go through. But yeah, we're moving forward and you know, just to keep giving you what you wanted. It's just a good operating school. So, any questions about Blythewood that I can answer? Well, real quick, I just want to talk about the drive line real quick. The car line, you know, we put a lot of effort into this with lessons learned from Lexington. I think the fruits of the labor are there. Yeah. We I don't know if you had a chance to see your drive out there. It really, you guys probably showed up while it was happening. But we're very pleased with what we've gotten. And as parents learn and as staff learn, I mean, we literally, like as Abby said, staff still learning their roles and how to work it and all that stuff. And most of your parents that are dropping off kids, you know how it is. So, but we're very pleased and feel that this will be a very successful site for Carline. That should be any issues with DOT or any community issues. Another thing I just want to add, you know, just our proximity to our neighbors, you know, DMV, DPS. I feel like they don't even recognize our presence. I mean, we're really not a nuisance to them at all with the drive line. It just seems to be very cohesive and working well. So just want to throw that out there so you all had in case those were some concerns. They were of mine, but we planned for it, and I think we're very pleased how it turned out.
I thought it was great when I got off the exit that there was no backup.
yes.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
figured
I was
that
gonna say, I
a
was very
start.
impressed. I didn't know you could see a drive line until I got.
I
Oh,
left
Abby-
early for that reason.
Abby, John, and I were actually in a UTV tracker driving around this site, and we're like, where are all the cars? Where are all the
Where is
people?
everyone?
And you know, there's 1,500 students here, and then but we realized that it's flowing, it's working. It was really nice. So,
Yes.
So yeah, very good. So if there's any questions about Blythewood, we can move on.
I do.
Yes.
This is the day that ends in one. How much longer do you think you'll have contractors, folks like boots on the ground, just from like a safety standpoint?
I think we'll be here for probably another, no longer than the end of this month.
Okay.
I think that's their goal. Their goal is to be out by the end of the month.
Okay.
We're going to have people that are going to have to come out. You know, it'll be more of a,
Oh, of course.
instead of the general contractor here managing, it'll be more of a warranty call out where we call the guys and they come. then we'll just manage that, but, that's it.
Awesome.
Let me shift to ALA Lexington. So just to give you an idea, last week, or, we're still moving there too. I mean, every day that's a topic. We have meetings weekly and discussions daily on progress of what's going on with Lexington. It has not been forgotten, although all the work's been going on here, there's still, my time's divided. Last week, we received the unanimous approval from Lexington Architectural Review Board, or Board of Appearance. Their technical name. What that is, they basically look at building. They say, well, we want you to put a little bit more of this in there, put some gingerbread here. And so we did, we had a meeting with them over a month ago. They had they tasked us to do a couple things. We did it. They said, like, make the side of the building look more like the front. Our architect did some of that work, and they were unanimously approved. So they were pleased. So that's good. That's a good positive step. The next approval we're looking for is OSF approval. OSF is they've got the plans. We've had some desktop reviews. They're reviewing plans, and then they'll release the plans, basically giving us a permit for the buildings, or the building. Sorry, it's a gymnasium / classroom building. We expect that to come in around August 24th, so fairly soon. So we're expecting that. OSF. Yeah. Yeah, you can pull it up. Just real quick. I sent Abby just
Oh, nice.
So what you're seeing on the right is the existing high school building. It's coloring's off a little bit, as you can see, but you can see, and there's basically, but the main the front part of the building faces the high school building, so that, when students come out, they traverse into the gym building. So that just gives you just a little idea of how it sits and lays on the property.
So that'd be sitting like right in the front part, the part closest to like the playground and the practice field.
That's correct. It would go right on top of the practice.
Right on top of it.
Yep. Yep. Well, all the car line will stay there.
Yeah, the car line will still
Car line
get
will
you
still run.
around it.
We're gonna be right inside of that area. Yep, exactly. So, next thing, so we also have, we've got plans submitted. They're already in with Lexington County for stormwater erosion control and grading permit. That's in for review. We're expecting to get that back, which would allow us to start clearing by 9/14. We expect to start clearing some trees and doing some ground grubbing on 9/14. Grading will start on August 5th and completion by July of next year. So that's our target. I will hit a couple points. Just, I know it's near and dear to y'all over there. We are trying to fast track the awnings. That should happen independent of all the other work. So we're pushing that to happen. We have not started that yet. Just to give you my thinking.
Sure.
We're in a budgeting period right now. We're pricing and we want to see where everything's at before we start releasing stuff. We designed to budget, and so we just want to make sure we don't get over our skis and with everything.
Right.
Everything is that same level. That's why we haven't released anything. We can't release until we get grading permit anyway. So anyway, so to that point, we are making a valiant effort to push that as soon as we can. That'll be, like while everything else is happening. Driveline expansion is the next thing that I want them working on immediately. If there's a tractor working on the field or the building pad, I want another one over there, grading for the driveline expansion. I hope to have both of those long before the building's delivered and things like that. So
your goal is driveline expansion and awnings while
the other
things
things are still being worked on the field, and the gym building. Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah, it has been that one.
Yeah, I bet.
The traffic seems like it. They have to find something else.
Correct. Yeah, well, they got it, under an hour
Yeah.
the very first week. It's the first time that's happened.
So now it's awnings. We're just.
Yeah, now it's,
coming.
And then the other thing is with regard to the exterior, the off-site improvements. There was 4 items. I think I shared with you guys before. There's 4 items that we were tasked to do by the town and DOT. And we've got plans being developed for that to get that work in place as well. And there's no reason why we can't. It takes a while to do offsite work. I mean, there's a lot of utility contractor or utilities that we have to deal with and DOT approvals and all that. But it's a
it's our focus to do all these as a simultaneous project, to keep that moving, because we know that's important for some of the offsite work. And there's 4 areas that we're addressing. Have I shared that with you, what we're doing? Thought I did at the last meeting, but just real quick, since we're here, I'll tell you real quick. So, yeah, so, on Bruner, we'll be doing a widening, just a slight widening right there where Bruner and Glassmaster, you know, that little side street. So that while people are waiting to make the left, you're not held up. So there's just a little bit of asphalt to get around that. We're making a same thing, coming a right turn from Glassmaster, kind of coming from Railroad, you know, from the highway, making the right turn onto Bruner right before the school entrance. That's another area we're looking at. At the Whataburger, we're going to make that right turn lane that's there. We're going to continue that around the corner and make a right turn feeder lane, which allows, the biggest thing of what that does, it allows a through lane going through. So if you're on industrial, is it industrial?
Yeah, industrial.
If you're on industrial heading towards the school, you now have another lane there for a through lane.
Always dedicated.
And that'll be, so that will help the sequencing of the traffic. Right now, they're working in different phases, and this will allow a simultaneous phase so that you can have our traffic leaving and that traffic moving at the same time. So that's super important.
That's
Good.
nice.
And then the final thing was a right turn onto Innovation. Less important in my mind. I fought against it, but the town pointed out that this is an area of concern, where when you guys know how that merges from 2 lanes to 1 lane, just right at our property. They said that because we have that lane there, you know, because our families are making the turn into the school, this is causing some impedance to the through traffic, and they feel that will help have that dedicated lane. It's just a simple pop out lane. We've got all of that plans, all of those things being worked on right now, you know, for submittal. But you know, it's all subject to approval from DOT in town and everything, but that's kind of the direction we're working on. So.
Awesome.
But that's all a separate project. It's not going to hold up.
That will not hold. Well, it will hold up because they being the town, they conditioned the approvals on having that offsite work done first.
Okay.
So we just need to hold up our end before all that's complete.
Yeah, we need to get that work done before they give us a CO from you.
Okay, so we can start the work.
Yeah, we can start the work. We just can't get a CO. So
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be long, you know, done long before.
I know it's a lot of projects to manage at once, but I'm
Yes.
grateful that we're not having to wait for.
Yeah.
That's all happening together.
Yeah. So that's how we're pushing it. That's how we're going to phase it. And you know, we got to get the building pad started. That's a big deal, just because that's such a sequential step that how, you know, for construction, that it's super important. But the rest can literally start at the same time if we get the right contractor with the stuff, and that's what we're seeking out.
Okay.
So we're willing in a month, we're gonna start seeing movement there.
I expect you to see within a month that you'll start seeing movement. Yeah, we're waiting for the Board of Appearance approval before we put up a sign. I plan to put up a construction sign that kind of just shows that picture.
Yeah.
And just kind of shows and almost, I call it a cartoon drawing, but basically it's a rendering of the site. And we wanted to put that up like a V-shaped sign at the entrance of Bruner. It just shows the families that, hey, it's coming, it's happening. It just shows a little bit of movement. So that we just been waiting for that approval to send the proofs in. So.
As far as like where things stand right now for I know you're like still figuring out contractors and whatnot, and timing is like the least favorite question here, but like for the awnings and the expanded drive line, where's your brain at as far as timing wise?
I don't.
No idea.
No, I really have no idea.
Okay.
I apologize. We're focused on all the permitting and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel that's low hanging fruit. I know it takes a little bit of time to get through some design on the permitting is part of the driveline expansion. So that's going to be there. The awnings will be a separate submittal. It's a separate approval that has to happen, but it's part and parcel of the overall permitting.
Okay.
It's on our civil drawings, which means our site plan drawings.
Okay.
So I have to get that permitted before I can start putting dates down.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
But rest assured, I understand the importance. I hear you loud and clear, and I've been beating on the contract team, the design team, that this needs to be something we move on right away, get that going. So goodwill to the parents
Thank you.
and to the board.
You, and y'all, as far as the site renderings and drawings, have gotten with obviously both upper and lower campus leadership on like where all these need to go based on like how they have the students lining up and whatever. I don't want to see a bunch of money get put into awnings based on where a bunch of people that don't actually sit on the campus on the day to day say that we think they should go, when then we get down there and Gabe and Christina are like, why would you put them there? That does not make any sense. So
There's been some discussion.
Yes and no. So it was, yes, we've discussed with them, but part of what we had to do was say, listen, we haven't been executing driveline the way we needed to, and this is where the awnings are going to go because of the flow of driveline.
right.
And so that conversation did take place, that this is where the awnings are going to go, but it was based on where the students are expected to stand.
And let me tell you what that is. You all know the site very well, so let's start with the lower school. It'll be an extension from what comes out of the back of the gym.
Yep.
There'll be an extension near the curb that kind of goes there where
Almost
kids
like an
stand.
L.
Yeah, make like an L shape. So there's
Right.
something there. Over on the high school, it'll be on the side. It will kind of be between the gym building and the high school building.
Okay.
They'll be on the side where that other drop-off pickup area is for lower grades and upper grades.
Okay.
So that's the secondary. And then we're looking at a canopy between the high school door by that side, all the way to the elementary door to the
Okay.
side.
Yep.
That whole sidewalk to that side.
Yeah. because
We're
it's
not
right.
doing anything in front of the buildings because that's not where we stage for pickup and drop off. And it's just a giant waste.
Yep.
So
Okay, cool.
that's what we're doing.
Sounds good.
You mentioned like having renderings and stuff. Is there ways we can like get, I mean, people would like to see the plan for even the awnings.
See those awnings.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the plans for the audience that would pacify.
It would help, I think.
I'll work on that. It's gonna be a minute. I mean, I don't even know if I'll have it within the next 30 days, but I hear you.
Yeah, just even pushing on the drawings for that, and even the football.
Yeah, just.
Because this is wonderful. I mean, this is so
Yeah.
encouraging to see. I think things like this. can be-
And we've got some plans. I just want it, and I've got, I again, call it a cartoon drawing. It's more of a rendering. It's colored and it shows the football field. It shows the site. I just couldn't find it in time for the meeting. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I was feverishly looking for it to get it.
No, and we don't need those, right?
Yeah.
We're fine, we literally hear what you
Yeah.
say, but with
You want the
parents,
parents.
especially with a lot of them seeing all the Blackwood stuff, I think this is like stirred.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of, a lot of negativity with this campus getting so much more. We all understand, it's been explained extremely well.
Yeah.
But to the parents, I don't think it's on through yet,
Yeah,
so.
understood. And what I will do, Cassie, and you tell me if this helps, you tell me if it's helpful or not. I could create some and put it on some easels as they walk through the front
Yes.
lobby.
Oh my
Then they
gosh,
can
yes.
see that kind of
Yes.
stuff. Would that be helpful?
I think it takes it from this idea.
Yeah,
to
this
this
is
like,
that we're
to
talking
like,
about.
It's happening.
This
Yeah,
is
that
also
was
like,
true.
this is what I mean by like part of a marketing comms campaign.
Yes.
Like that would be a part, like having those physical pieces like throughout the schools, like within the, like this is also super exciting for the upper school. Like it's exciting for the lower school because now, yay, your kids get to go into an
Yeah.
upper school that's like fully
That has.
ready.
Yeah.
That has everything
Right,
for
we'll
you.
we'll get that put together. That can come pretty darn quick.
That would be so
Now, I
cool.
don't know if I can have awnings in this quick because I'm still working on design.
Yeah.
Again, trying to design the budget. There's 1,000 ways of making it an awning.
if you give me a Sharpie, I'll just draw.
Yeah, just if you
I think if they just see it as one, this is where awnings are
Right,
gonna
I'll
be.
take
Sure.
it. If they
Okay.
just see
I'm
it,
gonna
it's
kind of
okay.
just speak for my friend Jim here too. We also want to be really intentional when those things are released, because if it's not concrete, we also know
Right, of course.
Yes.
sometimes
Right.
parents like to hold us to
Okay.
what
You had
we
this.
said,
out there,
and yeah, so.
No, I appreciate that with awnings. I mean, I'm joking, but yeah.
No, I've told everybody and just so you know, here, we have awning plan. I mean, there's a couple of shelters out there right
Yeah.
now.
I was gonna say, this is great.
But that's going away. Those are temporary. Those are held over from the construction. We still have money in the budget to do it on. We're working on that. It's just, we were waiting to be clear transparency here. We planned that big drop off area to be left side and right side of the car. We ran into some problems. We had some original approval from the state, OSF and others. And then they came back and said, oh, wait, we can't do that. So we had to change how we did it. So until we know exactly where we're going and how we're doing it, and how much awning, we're kind of holding off just to not spend money that's not going to be utilized. Because we have a split right now. If this is the large concrete area, and I think it's like 30 feet by 180 feet, whatever that is. But we are expecting cars to drop off on this side and cars this side, and the cars leave. Well, what they made us do is drop off on this side, and this side can't use this, they have to drop off over on this side. So now I've got a whole separate area with this giant plaza that was safe for traffic. And because of state statute and stuff that we're trying to talk to them about and get some changes. And I think that there's some possibilities. So that's why I haven't given you more here yet, but it's in the plan. Just because the first thing I said to everybody when we talked about this project is awnings, awnings, awnings. I know this board wants awnings. So.
So the fields are in the renderings too.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. But I said, well, let's just be clear, it's field. It's a football field. Yeah.
And field has been approved thus far alongside, I know you did the building approval with the town, but we're still approved for all of the things that we're trying to
We're
do.
approved for the drive line, we're approved for the football field, we're approved for everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. It's like beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Very
The only
good.
thing I haven't got approvals for is the awning, because it's a separate approval.
Yes.
And I don't have the building approval, I have the architectural review board approval, or
Right.
appearance board, but I don't have the permits yet.
Gotcha.
So anyway,
Thank you.
sorry to hijack this show, but there's a
No,
lot of new
that
ones,
is a-
and I know that this is the good stuff. So,
Yes, it's always tough. I
That's
wanna
the
be
best
clear.
type.
yeah, so, yeah, okay. And I think you had a sneak peek of the building a little bit ago, we had our open thing, so.
I've ran through here, but yeah.
So, anyway, I offered that after we can get walking, give you a quick tour if you guys would like.
That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. Okay. That's all I have.
That's why I wanted Jim to come.
Okay.
I was all the way. We did it. I was excited. There was this whole thing when the day got pushed to Wednesday, was it, Abby? Jim was really excited. He was gonna do Uncle Jim's fishing camp for all. I wanted to see that, but then he told me that it didn't happen. So.
I would have paid money though. too.
I know. That would be great.
But I will, I just, if I could just say, I just want to commend your staff here. I mean, Charter One, Abby's leadership and how Charter One pulled it together. The staff here was just amazing. They really did an awful lot. They were tasked with a lot of challenges. I mean, we literally got it at, I think, 9:30 in the morning. We got the go. And on Tuesday, and we had parents in here for Meet the Teacher Tuesday night. At 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. Yeah, so that's a big task, and your staff did amazing, and so yeah, just you should be really proud of the attitude that has been displayed from these leadership here. Dennis and Jared are really doing a great job. They're holding raised values to fidelity. I see it just a little bit. I've been in the building. I've watched some people, stop kids in the hallway and no, tuck that shirt in. And it's really neat to see. I think you guys would be really happy with how they're upholding the values.
Thank you.
Love it.
Any other last questions? Okay. Up next is our finance report with Trevor.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good to be with you. Exciting to hear all these construction updates. Addie, do you want me to present my screen or do you have the finance report summary?
I can stop sharing, Trevor, if that's easier.
Okay, yeah, I can do it. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So what we'll do is I'll go through just some key messages here around Lexington, then also around Blythewood, and then we can talk more details around each of them. So kind of at a high level summary. You guys hear me still?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so at a high level summary, so as you recall, the budget for Lexington is based on 1,700 enrollments. And so that would deliver 3.8 million in EBITDA. I'll show you that slide just as a reference. In terms of how July spending happened, it came in really flat to the budget. I did start looking also at year over year, just to take into account any seasonality. And so it was actually a little bit better than what we spent in July 2025, and I'll show you those details here in a second as well. In terms of cash, so the July 31st cash balance was 2.7 million. That's 46 days cash. So June 30th, 2027 will need to be above 45 days cash. And so it's good that we're starting at 46. One risk is we're looking at enrollment, as you just saw. So enrollment's trending at 1678. And so that's going to put some downward pressure on enrollment this year. So as we really need to continue, and I know the campus is doing this, continuing to enroll, continuing to market the campus, marketing these construction projects, all very important. I put on here kind of long term. I mean, we need to be at 1900 plus. That would really just be until we have all of the expansion in place. And even after that, we need to get up to closer to, 23, 24, 2,500 students. So that's Lexington at its high level. No big surprises in July. For Blythewood, the budget was based on 1,200 enrollments, and so that was going to help us break even there this year. For July 2026, the spending was below the budget. I think, though, that's mostly a timing issue. I'm not sure everything has been fully billed, just given the startup nature of the campus. So we might see more of that spending hit in August. We did see some heavy startup spending, $400,000. That was expected as the campus was ramping up. All just startup items, new things, not out of the ordinary at all. And then in terms of cash, so we're receiving cash now. And so we got our first cash allotment in July, but we've been running really operations on the line of credit that we talked about a few months ago. And so now we'll be able to begin to build a cash balance inside of Blythewood. So the opportunity here, I would say, is, as you saw, also enrollment is trending north of 1,400 students. So our budget was based on 1,200. And so that will give us some upward momentum on revenue, which is very good news. Okay, so that's kind of the big picture. No big surprises in July, I would say.
Good.
Okay, if I go to the next page, this is just really for reference only. This was the budget that was passed in June. You can see the 21.7 million in revenue from 1,700 enrollments. If we remain below the 1,700, then that will put some downward pressure on this 21.7. And so we will need to demonstrate a 1.10 debt service coverage ratio for this school year. And so that will be measured, on June 30th, 2027. And so as the budget that we have now, that will deliver a 1.13. So we'll need to watch this carefully so that we can remain above 1.10. But I think we can do it. This right here just shows you more detail. You have the detailed reports, but this is a little bit of a summary of those detailed reports. So if I just look here on this left side of the slide first, in terms of just budget to actuals, you can see revenue was higher than the budget, 2.1 million versus the 1.8. This is mostly driven to some of the accounting that we're doing, where we're taking into account the rental income that we're now getting. The way that the bond is set up, Lexington is paying itself that rental revenue. So you'll see some revenue here of about 300,000, and then you'll also see the added cost, the associated cost here in purchase services of about 300,000. So you can see where we have higher actual revenue than budgeted. We also have higher purchase services costs than what was budgeted. They offset. So that's what's happening there. So not worried about that at all. You can see here from a labor perspective, we were about $100,000 below the budget on the labor. There could still be a few labor items that just haven't been fully billed. So I'm not worried about that. But we still may see this increase as we look at reports next month. And then over here with supplies and materials, a little bit ahead of schedule, a little bit of over budget just because of the timing of things and school startup. I'm not worried about this either. I think this will even out over time. So net, we're delivering about $300,000 of EBITDA. So it's really what we had budgeted going into July. So that's good. If I look at this, I was just curious, as I look at this year over year, if I was to look at, July of 2026 versus July of 2025, what am I seeing? And you can see, revenue is pretty flat, a little bit higher than what we did a year ago. Labor cost is down just a little bit than what we did a year ago. Purchase services is down from a year ago. Supplies and materials is also down from a year ago. This is mostly driven because of the Chromebooks that we purchased a year ago. So I think this is trending and showing well that the campus is doing well, managing cost. We continue to see improvements there. Any questions on? Okay. This is the Blythewood budget. So this was the budget that the board approved in June. You can see it's built on 1,200 enrollments. It basically is a break-even budget. Now that we're seeing enrollments above 1,400, then we'll continue to see some good news here. That's all positive for the campus. If I look here just at year to date thus far, from a revenue perspective, we're right on where we had expected that we would be. Labor cost is below what we had budgeted. I think also there's still some timing issues with this. I'm not sure that all of the labor has been fully billed, but we're trending well there in terms of where we should be from a labor perspective. Purchase services, again, I just don't think we've seen everything billed here quite yet. And then this is the supplies and materials I was talking about that was pretty heavy in July, just with the startup, but I'm not too worried about that either, just due to the seasonal nature of that. So I think the short answer here is I think, July 26, the actuals delivered about $346,000 higher EBITDA than what we budgeted. So the campus is doing well that way. And then if we start factoring in the higher enrollment and revenue from that, I think this picture will be good. It looks good so far. Are there any questions about Blythewood or about Lexington financials that I can answer?
I do not this time. That's a very straightforward financial report.
Perfect. Okay, well, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, our last report is on Creovia, and Jason and Matt will be speaking about that.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. We were asked to bring in some information regarding Creovia usage at your campuses. We have a lot of great news to share, and also would love to answer any questions regarding the adoption and the plans that we have in place in partnership with Charter One in the schools. Can share this real quick. There we go. Can you see that okay?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Just
If we can zoom in a little bit, Jason.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. So a couple of data points here. So every single Guardian student and staff member is living in Creovia today. That means we have about 330 staff profiles that are active today. 3,925 guardian profiles and 3,108 student profiles. We have, since adopting Cryovia, Lexington has performed 382 observations. What's really exciting to hear is that 21 of them already show up for Blythewood, and that's because some teachers transferred from Lexington into Blythewood, and those observations are going to be following them. Now, for South Carolina, as you guys know, teachers are expected to be observed and evaluated on the state's platform. So Perform here is really supporting additional observations outside of what the state requires, making it so that not just teachers are getting evaluated, but any staff member across your entire campus can be evaluated in this platform. And then write codes. Write codes, we have 2,801 write codes issued. This number is actually a lot more clean than the one in the previous years, with collaboration with Erskine and as well as your campus leaders. We were able to really drill down who's supposed to get a car line code and who's not. And then writer records, we have 3,500 different unique writers, but 2,094 unique writers flying through Cryovia Ride. With this, we love data, as you can tell already, but we're tracking and providing reports on every single ride dismissal for your K-6 campuses and showing them exactly how many students are dismissing on a daily basis, how much time did it take. This is an average from the time of the first student that was dismissed through Cryovia Ride until the last one was sent to the pickup zone. We're really proud of seeing these numbers for both Blythewood and Lexington, and showing how, as of August 13, they were all already well below the 1 hour mark. On this, 5,954 students have been dispatched through the Cryovia Ride, and out of those 5,954, 5,668 have been sent to the pickup zone. Now, there's room for improvement there. There are 300 students that are not being sent, either because they weren't present that day or some additional training to be done in the classrooms. But with this amount of data, it supports the entire car line plan that the schools are putting together here. Now, announce, I believe there's some questions here. We're really proud that as of July 25, there has been 65 announcements been sent through Announce portal. This is coming from your teachers, your leadership that are sending announcements to every single person in those groups. So these messages account all the messages. Excuse me?
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. So these announcements include messages sent from Christina and Gabe, but also announcements sent by teachers. So just in the first 2 weeks at Lexington, seen 59, in Blythewood, only 6, which I think is expected since they have so much that they're learning and going on at the campus right now.
What, that's in over a year?
No, since July 25th.
Oh, the 25th, not July of 2025.
No, sorry. Yeah, since July 25th of this year. So when we roll over your data that week of July, that's when we start turning the tracker on as well for this next school year. And that's one area of improvement that I would like to suggest we start reporting to the board, is how many announcements are being sent. Maybe break it down by additional metrics, not just as a campus, but maybe by grade level, teacher types, so we can start tracking down where do we have room for improvement there on Announce in the parent portal. And then as far as plan and timelines, one thing we started doing with Lexington, last year is monthly meetings to talk about adoption, things we can try, areas where we need support, not just for Announce, but the entire platform. This is an area where Gabe, Christina, and their assistant directors will come on and ask us any questions of issues they might see, but as well as talk about ideas on what else do we need inside of Announce to drive more adoption there. Abby and I talked last week that we should start doing the same for Blythewood now that things are starting to settle down, and have those meetings with the Blythewood leadership to have the same discussions, not just how do we drive adoption, but what else does Cryovia need to offer to support their campuses. And Maddie P here, who some of you might have met if you were a parent night. Matt is your customer success manager dedicated to your district, and he was on campus in July for an entire week, supporting trainings, retrainings, and being a person at the meet the teacher night, So that parents had any questions or couldn't sign in, they could go to Maddie P's booth and get signed up right away. We're excited to see Lexington. They moved to an all digital car line this year. So last year they had the option of having a placard or your digital placard on your phone. This year, Lexington moved to all digital, making it so that another way to increase adoption of the parent portal app is, in order to pick up your kid, you'll need the app downloaded on your phone, and therefore driving more usage on it. Next 90 days is turn on the Blythewood meetings, drive adoption at that campus, and continue supporting the Lexington leaders with anything they need to go there. And then last thing I want to add, this is some great things that we've been doing for Lexington. These are items that are completely 100% discounted, but technical consulting is a line item that we're always looking for ways, how can we support outside of the Kroger platform? This summer, we built a data automation platform to take data from Power School being provided by Airskin, grading automation, so that platform now distributes 36 daily jobs to your different ed tech platforms to support things like Savas, Clever, Heartland, and student Google accounts, and a couple more things that they're setting up from that platform. Customer support, something we pride ourselves on, not just the people answering your tickets, but sending people like Matt out on site to support trainings. And then the parent portal, which we talked about, the adoption rates already. Then I would like to open the floor to any questions, and then also ask what else can we provide information on and data statistics on to see where adoption is living and growing for your campuses.
I've got a few questions for you, Jason. And some of them might overlap into your world, Abby, because it may be more of a adoption directional kind of piece of it. So the three areas that I heard are perform, ride, and announce that are like your kind of key, like that's the meat and potatoes. Ride's pretty obvious, and I think that it has absolutely shown its value in aiding us getting folks out door quicker. The perform, love it for the admin, but not parent facing, really. I mean, the scores will be like delivered in through Creovia, so you could see what you would have seen within Power School. But the announce piece is the piece that I think needs to have some intentional checkpoints around as far as usage and adoption goes. This slide deck is phenomenal. I'm grateful for all the information. It's a lot of percentages on things that don't mean a whole heck of a lot to me, because that app is still one of the least opened apps on my phone, which hurts my heart, soul, and mind altogether as somebody that loves to work with technology. But there's nothing in it.
Yeah.
So, and that's like and I've brought this up before, but that's like a key complaint that or thing that we hear and see all the time. There's a million emails and there's a million, Facebook posts. And when people are going to Facebook to get the most latest and greatest, it makes me want to dive out a window, because that's not where they should be getting their information from. Yeah, so I guess my question to Creovia team, to Abby, to y'all, like, when are we planning on making the change so that nothing changes until something changes? Like, are we going to start pulling some of the marketing constant contact into Creovia? Like, do you guys have that kind of planned out? Like, otherwise, if not, that's cool. I don't think we should be paying for that part of the application. And again, that's just my call out on the financial side of it, but that's been the ask for a while now. So I'd love to understand what better checkpoints and what better usage guardrails we can help.
Well, so I want to help us, I think, for Jason and Matt. And the beautiful thing about having Creovia is that they are trying to design a tool that answers the problems. Or the challenges that we're facing. And so the tools that he mentioned, Ride is parent facing. Perform and Magnify are really crucial tools for day-to-day operations of the campus leaders, going into classrooms, doing observations, and then Magnify is really instrumental in teacher PLCs. We can pull the student data. None of that is really, the parents aren't interfacing with those programs. So super valuable to the campus in being able to do their leadership functions, but for the parents, what I hear you say is that they're still going to Facebook, and it sounds like we're trying to steer them in the direction of going to another like platform to get to be their source of truth. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, there is,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
There's
surprised to
nothing.
hear that he said there's been that many.
Because
because
that-
Well, I got on mine while you were
Yeah.
giving it, and I'm
There's
like,
one
oh, there's
teacher that
announcements
she's
that I didn't
in.
know about.
She has one teacher that she's
Okay.
yeah,
That's
so.
it.
I just
There's
think it's
no
about
information
stewardship.
there.
We just want
Yeah.
to make sure we're
Yeah.
stewarding that money. well.
Yeah.
So
If
it's
we're
not-
spending it, because there've been parents that have come to me now at this point being like, why don't we have something? Why, what,
think
other
this
schools
is-
have parent square. This is parent
And
square.
we're
This is-
trying.
Yeah, so if we have this, I
We're
think
paying
there's
for it.
a communication
Yeah.
break at some point.
I think
Perhaps.
it's probably more on
I
like
think that
Yeah.
our
lower school
end
uses
than
it
their
more,
end, you
yeah.
know? I think that it's there, but it's just kind of forcing
If you,
it to be the primary.
yes, and if,
Yeah, I
and
mean-
nothing changes till something changes, and you have
Yeah.
to start somewhere,
Yeah.
like you, and get, again, we're all local, I'm happy to help on this as well, but like, get your local, like, IT champions, get your people like
Yeah.
Katie Horton, sorry, Katie, Filson. But get your people like that get other folks excited about using that piece of technology, and people are gonna be annoyed that, yes, it's another application, I get it, but when you have all of your stuff in one place, and you have all of your ability to reach out to the teachers all in one place, like, Korea had such amazing capabilities, we are foolish to not give our community the capabilities and to encourage them to use it.
And I think communication is the primary thing,
Huge.
because,
Huge.
yeah, and that's what we've said all along, like having 4 kids in upper school. If
Yeah.
you don't have 4
Yeah.
teachers, that is a
And that's a
lot, you know,
lot of stuff.
that are coming, so to have
So-
them
So
in one
Those
place.
those are separate objectives. And I just want to make sure that we know what the different objectives are. So objective number 1, streamlining communication for parents from the teachers is one objective. And the other objective is training and teaching parents that announce is the source of truth. And the only way to get to that source of truth is to have it be where they get the.
Correct, yes.
And right now, there's.
It's like a double-edged sword of
I
just
feel
like
we're
building
paying
that source of
for
truth.
it, but we're not using it. Like, there's never, teachers.
It doesn't,
never used.
yes.
Not by the teachers, and it
No.
sounds like
I
the
don't think
directors.
I've
have been
had
using
one,
it.
I've seen one announcement come in
I've never
from
heard
admins
anything
from lower school.
Upper school.
yeah, I have lower school stuff,
Lower
like
school
week
uses that
3
even more.
updates.
Unless I.
But
do
it
something
is
else.
kind of for us, for a parent, as a parent, it's like, I never know where to go to check, like, do I check email, do I check rodeo?
Oh, right.
Lower school.
I haven't looked at it in a while, to be clear,
So,
but it's because
does it not go to your email as well to tell you that you have?
It does. It does, but if you have the app, it's just a push notification. I think two-phased, building the source of truth. Right now, there's no there's no place to go to right now that like all of the most recent updates are. It's not our website.
Right.
It's not, right now, people are using Facebook for that. I think that's the part, because so like when somebody's like, oh shoot, I saw something about tennis tryout, I don't know, make that up. Tennis tryouts, and then like, oh, I gotta get Johnny's apparel at the lower school. What time was that again?
Well,
Like everything that
You
gets
have to go
sent.
to Facebook.
You do, you
And
literally.
shout out to Katie Ward.
Shout out to Katie Horton.
Yes.
Yeah, for real, like, and Shannon Carter, and like the
Yeah,
folks that are,
Yeah,
that are
that's
like
true, yeah.
aggregating this information, because they're literally doing what we're paying the announced section of Creovia to kind of do and aggregate that information.
So they're answering everything on Facebook?
Yes,
I do
Yeah.
think there, I do.
I mean, it's
think-
got to where, that's where I'll go, if I don't know
Here.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think
Oh,
it,
100%.
it's classic though with implementation of any like.
100%.
anything. I mean, we have, the same.
But if you don't give them a tool
But
to
if
have
it's
the
on
source.
here, then the Facebook answer is check for you.
Well,
Yes.
say,
But we can't say that.
We can't say
Right.
that.
both things have to happen at the same time. And I think we tried to push it, but it wasn't being utilized on the back end. So then if we don't have both of them happen like simultaneously. it's
Well,
just
and then also,
not gonna
I know
happen.
Jason, we had hit snags with like the connection with Power School and whatnot well before, but now that all of that has been fixed, now the scores are flowing through bidirectionally the way that they're supposed to. And you have the perform section more built out to where, so like, it's, before we kind of maybe cart before the horse a little bit,
Yeah.
but now we've proven it's got its value. It's
Yeah.
now let's get the most bang out of the buck for the announce side.
Right,
Let's,
right.
yeah, full sense of that.
I've also seen announcements from Creovia be posted on the Facebook page,
Yes.
which is kind of like, hey, there's announcements posted over there, and I'm like, here you go, let me just deliver it to you. What question I had, hearing you guys talk is, what information are you guys going to Facebook to find, and how do we create a safe space for that?
Everything. Everything. Anything that has ever been sent out via constant contact marketing, I promise you, gets either screenshot, saved, or repeated and put up on Facebook, and that is
No.
where everybody goes.
No, I'm part of that group as well, so that I can keep in touch with what's going on. Especially with Ride, that's where I go to see how the car line went from Arizona. But
There you go.
really is, if we can come up with topics and create some spaces in the app for that, that will cover those topics. Maybe I think parents are looking for more than just communication. It's data points,
Yeah.
things like that. So let's stream a little bit, maybe create some type of group that we can meet quarterly, monthly, whatever it might be, and come up with ideas. This is what information we should bring into the app outside of announcements. Because we've done announcements. Announcements are coming. You guys all check your phone. You had at least one announcement. But that's just a touch point of information being pushed to you, not information that you go to pull, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're
that would be amazing. I mean, everything from like, there could be a volunteer section, there could be a school event section, there's an extracurricular section there. I mean, there's sports section, like, I mean, are you an after school kid? Like, do you go to the academy? Like, there's it should be the one-stop shop. Jason, happy to donate and volunteer any as much or little of my time to that effort as well. Like that would be so helpful to parents and families.
Even just like the emails, like you said, sometimes I'll go, oh, no, it's the last email. I go to pull it up and I'm pulling up emails from a year ago.
Oh,
I just need one from
yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know, so
Google has
if it's in Korea, it would
So
be.
I think it's, so sorry, that's a great point. I think what we need to do is we need to figure out what is it that they're going to informate to Facebook for. This is great. And I'm just looking at like Lexington's announcement that they sent out through Announced. And there's like the Texas Roadhouse family event that's coming up. There's, I mean, where they can donate clothes, there's volunteer opportunities. That's a lower school announcement. Looks like
school does not use it
okay.
at all.
So, and it is, adoption of technology is hard. And I've been really honest with the Lexington campus when we even administered Chromebooks, right? We got a lot of like feelings about going from paper pen to, so I know it's going to be something that's going to take a lot of vigilance to get full adoption. And Blythewood, we've just started, we've just barely scratched the surface there. But I hear that there's a lot of, like, if parents could be more self-helping of that, with, announcing, going and relying on that as the tool where they can go and get information, that's going to be it. That's going to be huge. And we need to make sure that the information that they want is there. What's going to be the next step, though, is asking our parents who are in the community to also be the ambassadors and refer people to Announce once we get that system.
Yeah, I think we have key people like Shannon
We do.
and Katie that will absolutely.
And they will be good stewards of it. Like if people ask questions, they'll be like, oh, you can find that right here in Creolia. Like we can make a whole.
We just need to be able to say the information's actually there.
Yeah.
Correct.
And Katie just sent me a message with some ideas already, so she's all over it.
Thanks, Katie.
And Jason, I think that this is something we want to make sure that we get started with leadership now that school is underway now too, so that we can just go ahead and whatever we're doing with Lexington, we're just multiplying our efforts across state. Okay.
Question for you, Jason. Is there a way that this week 3 newsletter that Christina posted could show up in a better way that's not just an attachment that takes 3 clicks to get to it? That sounds silly, but 3 clicks matters.
Yeah. I had to look at the announcement myself. I finally took myself outside out of all their announcements just to clean up my email. Is my goal for this year is clean up my email. So I'll go find it and see it. Matt probably has it on his phone, so I'll look at his device.
Perfect.
But
yeah, that would be great if we could. I mean, just I think things like that where we're also teaching staff and like leadership on our side, like the best way to be posting things that helps with engagement, because we know that technology adoption is not the easiest thing in the world.
Amen.
All right, so Jason, we can, I know we have another tag up, but maybe we can meet before that next. We can meet and discuss how to get, Blackfoot online. Maybe we just combine so that we're doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, and then we'll start talking about the committee to bring more adoption to announce.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Sam's gonna be your first volunteer. I think Katie's on board too.
Of course, let's do it.
All
Hope
right.
you like Starbucks. We'll just be sitting there forever.
Awesome.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Okay, well, that concludes our reports. Next is our action item for today, which is nomination and election of our board officers. So the offices to be elected are chair, vice chair, and then secretary and treasurer are combined together. That was previously Whitney, so that one is open. And then currently I'm serving as chair and Cassie is vice chair. But both of those are up for re-election. And so we are going to go through each office individually. Nominations don't require a second. After the nominations are closed, then we'll proceed with voting. So we're going to begin with the office of the chair, and because I currently hold it, I'm going to turn this over to our vice chair, Cassie Walls.
Well, I would love to nominate Amy.
Yeah.
Done a phenomenal job and proven herself, and I would love to see her do it again. Unless there is someone else that would so local who would like to do this. We can't.
No, Amy's the goat. That's 100%.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's it. Okay, so I nominate Amy to be our chair.
And then I think we just vote, right?
I think so. Yeah, you don't need it.
Okay.
You need a second.
No one else is interested, so we're good with voting? Okay. Okay. All right. Technically voting. Do you have a
You have to
second?
say it.
Oh, I appoint Amy to chair. We do. I make motion to appoint Amy.
This is always so funny.
I'm sorry, we're entertaining everyone today.
I know.
A second?
I'll second.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay,
All those in favor?
all those in favor?
Aye.
This is why we need Amy.
She has her beautiful note.
I know.
I put them for you, but I forgot to tell you. So
I'm sorry, yes, I
actually
didn't,
gave you a script. Yeah.
I know, and I didn't see that. So-
Well, I forgot to tell you. So
I'm sorry. And then it got buried in financial.
No problem.
I know.
It's like, she used to be looking at it.
So sorry, I was not looking at
No,
it.
you are fine. You're fine. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. I'm very happy to serve as chair again. So I will, if everyone's okay with that, we will count that as our formal vote. So the next up is going to be our vice chair. So the floor is open for nominations for vice chair. I also think Cassie's doing a great job.
That can be questioned.
So I would like to nominate Cassie. Are there any additional nominations for vice chair? Alex gets a chance there. Okay, so hearing none, nominations are closed. So I'll make a motion to, I guess, keep Cassie in her role as vice chair. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. And last up is our secretary and treasurer. Now this one's a little unique because it was held by Whitney Hendricks, who is not on the board currently. She decided to take a step back to pursue some other things. And so this one is open. So is there a nomination for secretary and treasurer? And you are welcome to self-nominate if this is a role that you would enjoy. If not, we're coming for you. So I think we have two people that would be excellent.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
I know, I do.
Very organized.
Yes, so.
Please punish me
Okay, well
more.
then, we'll formally nominate Sam Pearson to be the secretary and treasurer. Are there any other nominations? No? Okay. I'm not comfortable with the treasurer part. Okay, okay. So hearing none, nominations are closed. I'll make a motion to appoint Sam as the secretary and treasurer. Is there a second?
I second that.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Well, with that, congratulations. Well, maybe, but we are very happy to have you. You did excellent notes, so you will do a great job. Today, Beth took notes for us, but yeah, I'm sure, you have been, and you guys can get together on that since you naturally do that. So congratulations again, and thank you for agreeing to serve.
And I would advise you to look at Robert's rules. It'll be very helpful. Just
Perfect.
to, yeah, of what to put in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's really neat. You won't be able to put it down.
It's a great read.
Awesome.
So, okay, so well, that concludes our election. And so up next is our announcements, which our next board meeting.
Sorry, see, I was looking at the other agenda instead of yours.
No, you did. I just copied these notes from the last.
Oh,
meeting.
okay. It's September 21st.
Oh, wait a
That
minute.
is correct.
That is all right. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it does say this
mine
one
is
first.
different. Mine is different. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I copied these
Oh, gotcha.
separately and I thought, this is correct. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And are we
September
going to
21st.
continuing to meet here?
At 4 p.m. Actually, I would like to recommend that we move the September meeting to Lexington.
Love that.
So just also just to continue to communicate to both campuses that, they're equally important and valued. Even, the space here is really nice. We've got some good space at Lexington as well, though. So I think it would be kind of a good thing. While we only have 2 schools to maybe split it.
I also think that would be good timing wise, especially if Jim, you're able to maybe get some renderings put up before the next board meeting at the end of, or at the end of September. That would be, it might get people to come in and actually come to some of the meetings and, yeah, that'd be nice.
We are for sure changing it to
If
Lexington.
everyone's okay with it. then. The September meeting.
So September meeting in Lexington.
Do you need to amend the agenda with the address?
No, because it's just an announcement.
Is there a motion to amend the agenda just?
I'll
in
make a
case?
motion.
If we need to.
So is there a second?
I'll second
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so all those in favor of moving our next meeting to Lexington campus, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. And it's been officially amended, whether or not it was needed. And so with that, we are, I think, ready to adjourn. Is there any further business? Okay, so hearing none, then the meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys so much. Thank you